Wow, okay.
Wow, baby. Monica.
Even before the intro. Uh, salutations, my fellow carbon units.
But
Um,
wow.
yes. My name is Jacoby. I will be your host for today. There is Joel, my fellow co-host. Discuss.
Hello, naughty Neanderthals.
And our guest for today, the embodiment of existential crisis, human form. Yeah, Monty.
Wait, fellow retards. I'm allowed to say retards.
No, you're insulting your
Okay,
viewers.
I apologize. I have made a severe lapse in judgment. I
Disclaimer.
reissue.
Disclaimer for our very loyal and esteemed viewers. We're not calling you retards.
Oh, look at who's licking up the shoes of these years.
Oh man, we're on episode 2, man. You want a full blown scandal on episode 2? Gonna get cancelled.
Episode 1 wasn't a scandal already. What else would be?
Making waves, making waves.
That's how we roll.
So thank you for joining us again, our very unprofessional and um, completely confused cast of noisy background, which is the name we came up with at the end of the last episode on the fly because we don't know what we're doing.
No, we do. We understand our viewers. We are so unprofessional that we can only be substantial enough on easy background. We give those readers excuses, like the kids down there, you can put us in the background and then you can watch off or jack off to your phone and then when they said when friends come in, you can be like, yeah, just
Oh
listening
my!
to these guys talk.
Whoa! What the hell is that? You just like people just jack off while listening to them.
No, we are the excuse. We are not the material, we are the excuse.
Is anyone out there jacking off while listening to podcasts? If you are, well, like I don't even know what to say. Oh, well, I guess it depends on what podcast you're listening to. I'm pretty sure there's erotic podcast or
What
something
are
like that.
ASMRs?
But come on, man. Please, no one jerk off while listening to our podcast. Please don't. Please, that would be weird. And don't tell us about it in the comments, please. Oh my god.
And yeah, for you, the narcissist.
I don't want people jerking off to my voice. That's weird. Like jerking off to my face is a different thing, but jerking off to my voice.
What the hell? You just say jerking off to your face.
Yeah, you can jerk off to my face. Okay, well, not.
Hey, don't give us permission. We ain't doing it.
Well,
I ain't doing it.
you know those things that like you say in the heat of the moment, and then like 20 years down the line when you're like vying for presidency, they come up and they're like, Jacoby, jerk off to my face 2020. You know, it's the kind of shit that comes to bite you in the
I rejected my humanity.
This another disclaimer. We have so many disclaimers in this podcast. I am not responsible for anything I say. Yeah, that's a good disclaimer.
This is an adult podcast, so please be above 18 if you're listening. If you're not, then that's on your own accord.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I've already labeled this podcast as having explicit content. So if you're 18, leave but don't actually leave because we need the views, so just pretend to leave.
We know what you do.
And
Do the normal thing, but just don't blame us. That's all we're asking.
and
That tries to prevent you from watching porn, but it actually does nothing.
yeah. It's like this memes of like the anti-cheats in like online tests. It's like do this, but like even if you don't, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
So
Same thing.
that's basically the warning. You gotta be 18 to watch this and or to listen to
You're not
this.
going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, what a beginning to a podcast. Oh man,
We always need to start with one like that.
these the podcasts are gonna be completely the topics are gonna be completely wild this time. I can already tell. I can already tell. Okay, so let's start off with a little bit more deeper introductions, especially to our guest, Mr. Existential Crisis Monty. Yeah.
Yes.
What made you go down the road of existential crisis? Yes.
That's a really good question because I think ever since I developed uh, my any form of consciousness that I've had, let me just say intelligent consciousness was I think when I was a kid I had consciousness, but I wasn't that intelligent. But when I developed intelligent consciousness and like
So
I started
you admit on camera that you were a dumb kid. On record, rather.
well, there is no smart kid. Well, there are, but
But I
let's
was a
be honest.
smart kid.
You weren't a smart kid. Shut up.
I was. Okay, no, I was not.
We weren't.
Okay,
So
go on.
so basically the rapid increase of knowledge that one gets when you're a kid. As soon as I started like understanding like the basic things about, we call it the universe, because well the universe is everything that's around me. So as soon as I started understanding most of the things that are around me, I like reality started breaking apart. Like I was using the knowledge to break apart reality. Like
So
uh,
as early as childhood, you were already spotting gaps in reality. Like you were already like, fuck, this thing is
yeah,
broken.
yeah, yeah. It's like this thing's broken and this doesn't seem right and like
So like, okay, could you give us like an example of that? Like, what's the
a
earliest thing
realization.
you remember thinking, like when you got intelligent awareness as a child,
Uh,
and then you thought about something, you're like, holy shit, this doesn't make sense.
okay. Uh, I think the first thing I noticed was human emotions. Like I don't know how to explain it well, but at the time I was like not quite comprehensive of the emotions I was going through. Because when you're a kid, you're like you go through stuff and then you just end up forgetting it anyway. But it reaches a point like you actually start remembering or not not forgetting stuff.
Your memory gets better, and you're able to hold
Yeah,
these ideas for longer periods of time.
yeah. So like, as time passed, like I have memories that have emotions that conflict with current memories. So um, like I think one of the actual instances that led to this was like when seeing uh you start seeing your parents for who they really are. Well, not I'm not saying that they're bad people, but
Okay,
you
yeah,
start seeing them as human beings rather than actual parents. So you
oh, okay,
start having conflicting feelings about you. Like
so the
you've been knowing your entire childhood that these are like perfect people, but then you start seeing stuff and messes up everything. So I think that was the first time.
so like it's kind of like the point where it's kind of like finding out like your parent or your mom or your dad has a name like
Yeah,
that's sort of
yeah,
um,
yeah,
like when you're like you always call them mom or dad or something, and then
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
exactly,
getting
exactly.
yeah, and for
Yep.
some reason you could never understand why your cousins call your mom or call your dad Uncle Jerry or something. Be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then you finally find out, oh wait, he has a name. And you're like, he's
Mhm,
not
yeah.
just my father. He has his own sort
Mhm,
of thing going on. That's
yeah.
separate from this.
That's basically exactly it. But like that's a good
Analogy.
substitution for analogy for what I was looking for. God, I'm dumb. Okay, that was what I was looking for.
No, no, no. You're
So
doing good. You're doing good.
so yeah, after that is when like I started well rather I didn't I'm not the one who initiated it. It's like reality just decided to unravel itself in front of me. So naturally being a curious kid and well if you're a curious kid right now, I want to advise you, please do not do not go out looking for knowledge. It will only hurt you. Please do go look for knowledge, but don't. So
Please go out and
um
look for knowledge.
yeah, don't look for knowledge. But if you have the chance to, please go look for knowledge. It's
Okay, but I get kind of where you're coming from. It's the ignorance is bliss argument. Yeah,
yeah,
where sometimes not knowing is better. Like,
yeah.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. There are like
Because
very many instances where you just rather not know.
yeah, because I think it's one of the reasons that I'm also not Christian. Well, sorry for bringing up this from the last podcast, but yeah, it's
Gotta
most
love
of the stuff you were.
diversity, man. Okay,
What?
okay. Like we gotta love the diversity we have here. We have
Uh,
atheists and then more atheists and then sprinkled in,
no
sprinkled.
atheists and more atheists.
Yeah. uh,
Yeah, so
I promise you're not a cult.
you are not going to get prosecution for this. I'm not even afraid of prosecution right now. I just don't want any of my family related people to find this podcast like
Don't worry.
unless my age is lower.
Because I'm related to you and your family is my family. I know they probably
Yeah,
will not probably
yeah, yeah, I
will
will
not
do
find this.
all I can as well not to let it go, not to let it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So nepotism podcast.
And if they do, we'll just deny that it's us. We'll be like, nah, man, you hear that voice, man? That doesn't sound like me. I don't talk that way.
Do I sound like I have a microphone as a voice box?
Yeah, exactly. uh, Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he's saying we're doing a nepotism podcast.
Nepotism podcast. Okay, yeah, okay. For context, Monty is my cousin, and
If you couldn't tell from the previous conversation.
yeah, if you couldn't already tell,
Cool.
although
No, no, that.
to be fair, it was a Viscus's choice to have him as this episode's guest.
It's right from me under the bus. I just gave up an option.
I'm, 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 I'm trying to fix the whole nepotism thing that you just came covering my own ass. God damn it.
By throwing me under the bus.
Yeah, when he started. Okay. Okay, so far from that. So when you sort of as a child, when you reach that point where you started to realize these kinds of things, and you're like, uh, and reality started to break for the first time, and the picture that you had of the world, you figured out that it could be changed, it could be wrong. Um, so was that a sort of uh, a beginning step down into the rabbit hole of existential crisis?
Well, I can say it was the beginning. Um, I want to call it like a prequel. It's like it fuels the beginning.
It's set up for the beginning.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
set up the beginning.
it's like all the what are you called? Uh, it's like all the Marvel movies that came before it.
Yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, um, most of like my existential, well, at this point I'd put existential in quotes because I don't really feel like I was going through existential crisis, but uh, like those thoughts lasted up to like class 8, I guess that was 2013. So as soon as I went to high school, and well, for those of you who don't know, Kenyan high school is the shit. It's no, not the shit. Is shit. It's the shit means like it's cool and all, but it wasn't cool. So
Yeah,
my
I can vouch for
my
that.
my coping mechanism for the pit, which I called my high school, was like literally not thinking. I decided not to use my brain. Well, academically sure, but thinking outside like academic stuff like personal thoughts. I can say kind of came empty.
So your consciousness kind of went on vacation.
Yeah, basically.
It's just like I'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. We went on vacation for 4 years. Well, it came back periodically to check how the house is doing, but it
Feed the
was mostly
cats.
on vacation. Yeah. So after I finished my fourth, fourth year in high school, and then that's when I got like free time, like a lot of free time, and I didn't know what to do. So as any normal human would do, I'd stay up late until like what 3 a.m. I don't want to sound cliche, so I just use 2 a.m. So I
You don't
stayed
want to
up.
sound too overboard. You don't.
Yeah, I don't want to sound too overboard. Um, might end up taking this the wrong way, then think I'm trying to become a villain or something.
long,
So
long.
villain backstory. Reveal.
Explaining world domination in your bedroom and seeking please.
I told you we have to answer the more important questions in life. math related to science.
It's math related to science. I'm not gonna. That's a reference, but I'm not gonna explain the reference because that's not what you do with
Yeah,
references.
yeah. If you're going to stick around listening to this podcast, you have to have a high meme IQ. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds so rich coming from a bunch of dudes in a third world country
yeah.
talking about Western memes.
Well, okay, say enough from Towel Country, so he'll be our flagship.
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
We'll stand behind you, and if you need any meme explanations, we'll tell you. We'll be like the brains, you'll be the what you present or something.
Well, yeah, you know, for
Wow, I see my position in this podcast now.
you're here as the diversity pick.
As you heard, folks, I am just the diversity. I am the picture boy. Eh?
Well, like at least we're black, so they can't accuse us of being racist. At least there's
Yeah,
that. We might burn a
indeed.
lot of bridges, but we won't burn that
You're just gonna come up with another word for this. But I'll just put it under discrimination.
one. Well,
Folks don't take it seriously. I know there'll be some pitchforks, especially after the last podcast. People, they're joking
well,
about this.
let's wait and see. There hasn't been. We should give our viewers the benefit of the doubt. You know, open-minded individuals. Plus, this podcast, either way, it's something you listen to in the background. It's something to fill the gaps in your day. When you're, um,
When reality is slowly breaking apart.
yeah, when it's 3 a.m. and you have that assignment that you gotta do. Yeah, that's due, and you just want some background music when you're busy washing
And
utensils.
you finally realize the lo-fi playlist on YouTube is on loop, so you hear the same song twice.
Yeah, when you just want some chatter. Uh,
Yeah.
and for that one Indian guy who actually listened to the first podcast, I was looking at the analytics, and this is just a random Indian dude. So yeah,
I actually listen.
shout outs to you, and oh yeah, and shout outs to the guy from Texas who also tuned in to listen to the podcast. Shout out for you two guys.
Whoa, okay. I see you've gone international now.
Yeah, man, we're international. We're international. Uh,
Whoa, you're doing overseas things now.
yeah,
Um,
we're making it big. We're making it big. Next week we're having Elon Musk.
oh, wow. Yeah, you.
I've sent him a DM already. He's yet to reply, but that's just because he's checking his schedule. That's the only
To send
reason.
him an email.
The only reason. Uh, okay, so just not to the topic again. We keep drifting off from this. Um, so as you were saying, Monty, the whole after high school thing, and you got a lot of time to yourself to reflect on life and your worldviews and stuff like that, and reality, especially reality, and how
Yeah.
everything's kind of fucked up. So what did you conclude? Like, what was the conclusion of that little self discovery that you kind of did during that time?
Um, so, well, there's some parts that I didn't quite put across, but it kind of helped add onto my existential crisis. And I'm not a simp for this, but I like a girl.
Well, everyone,
What?
And
uh,
Everybody
everyone,
does say everyone.
everyone here is like to go. Everyone here is like to go. Yo, it's fine.
like mine
It's
was
fine.
like the eternal kind of like.
Eternal kind of like.
Yeah, trust me. When
Eternal
everyone
kind of
tells
like.
you,
Who speaks that way, man? You sound like you're from like some Twilight movie or something.
listen,
Like
listen,
I have
listen,
eternal, and it's not like eternal love. It's eternal like. So, so
listen.
it's like
Let him explain. Let him explain. What
it's
is
like
this eternal like?
okay, let him explain.
It's when uh you have feelings for someone, but well, now that you've said it, it's more of a kind of eternal kind of love. So it's not like so do I still need to explain what eternal like means? Like it's basically simping for eternity.
Okay, I think we understand what eternal means. Well,
Okay, sure. So
Hey folks, we have Twilight 2.0
yeah,
starring Monty.
we got budget Twilight here.
okay,
We got budget Twilight.
fuck up. Texas guy would like me now.
Who knows? Who knows? He
So
might be a Twilight fan. You know?
cool. so saying, there was a girl I like. I don't even know how to say it anymore. Yeah, that
Had
one.
feelings for
So
this girl.
yeah,
Don't be shy.
I had feelings. I don't want to say it because might be listening. I don't want to have feelings. I still have feelings. But I don't.
Okay, no,
So
you had at this moment in time.
yeah, I had feelings for this girl. But then, as in, things went south later on, like a couple months later. So the experience of falling in love with someone and then like thinking you were about to spend your whole life with them, but then it doesn't end up that way. Kind of accelerated my realization process. But um, well, like, it kind of made me more emotional, I guess, and the emotions like it kind of solidified the ground on which I used to, yeah, the kind of feeling you get when you lose something that you really liked, but you know you have to let it go because it won't come back. Something like that. So
I
made me, yeah,
I understand. I understand where you're coming from, and I think
yeah, you definitely understand where I'm coming from.
yeah. But okay, I'm not gonna talk about that now. Um,
Yeah,
you're the guest, anyways. But yes, I think we've all had that point in our lives, or at least some of us have had that point in our lives where you had something really good going on. That doesn't necessarily have to be a girl or a relationship or a man or a relationship. But something that's really going on that you kind of in your head is gonna last forever, but then it doesn't work out and it hurts, but you have to let it go because in the back of your head you know you gotta move on and you know you gotta keep on living, you know. So
yeah.
I think we understand where you're coming from. I think our viewers will also understand where you're coming from. Why do I say viewers? Our listeners.
um, so that that entire experience kind of made me lose. I don't want to say lose hope because it makes me it makes you think that I had hope in the first place, but I still didn't have hope. It just made me
So it just,
Like
or you could say like it made you lose the little hope you had left.
yeah, basically. I don't know. I don't even think I had hope in the first place, but um, it made my lack of hope bigger. It's like making a hole bigger, basically.
Or it justified your lack of hope.
Yeah, yeah. So like I started doubting most of the things that happen in reality. Like I don't really quite
So
think anything
you
is
became cynical.
right. Yeah, basically, it became cynical. So I kind of live most of my life in existential crisis. Like I
That's your
really
default
have
setting.
zero hope for the future. I really like I don't know what to do. I don't know how I should like how I should be or act or something like that. So just makes me pretty unsure of the future.
Well, okay. So um, you kind of went through a whole lot in your childhood that it got you to the whole point of quote unquote existential crisis, and then the whole thing with this girl uh, kind of ended up cementing that more. And
Yeah. Well, the thing with the girl, I don't want it. I don't want to put the blame on her. She didn't have anything to do with my existential crisis right now.
yeah, yeah,
That is fueled by myself.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. So
Yeah,
you're not blaming anyone. It's all situational. Like
yeah,
it could happen to anybody.
yeah.
So for example, now at that point, since you're not inherently Christian, and you had reached the point where like all this doubt on reality, what kept you going? What made you go, like, keep going through the confusion? What made you function through the confusion?
Um, well, I want to tell you that there's something that kept me going, but recently I've been thinking a lot about what keeps me going, and I really don't have something that keeps me going per se. What keeps me like
Motivated.
functioning at my bare minimum? Because I can say right now I'm functioning at my bare minimum because I really don't have a fixed future goal per se right now. So what 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 would what I would say would keeps me going is distraction. Like, there's always a constant flow of distractions along my way. So most of it keeps my head out of the existentialness. So yeah, that's it. Just distraction.
Okay, so
Like basically school. School is like a great distraction for me because I really don't want to read, but I have nothing else to do, so I end up reading. And while I'm reading, I don't know, humans can't multitask, so you can't think of other things while you. I think you can, but it doesn't happen to me. So when I'm studying, I don't think about existential stuff.
okay, so someone just joined the call, but we'll go on. Um, welcome. Uh, so when you have these distractions that kind of um, take your mind away from this existential dread that's all around you, the fact that or the how you perceive things with this cynical mind. Um, what exactly, if you had, let's say, advice on someone going through the same kind of things, like like at a crossroads in their life, where they kind of feel like they may end up going down a path of like this, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have felt that sort of loss where you need distractions
Yeah.
to keep going, but not necessarily because of existential crisis. Sometimes it's because of stress. Sometimes it's a lot of things that usually weigh you down or weigh anyone
Mhm.
down for that matter, and a lot of distractions are a very popular way of escaping that sort of reality, quote unquote. Um, so what like what advice, if you had any, would you
Oh, I am like literally the worst person to go for advice to, but I'll do my best saying and try and say something that doesn't end up with you killing yourself.
well now that got
So,
really dark.
well, the thing is, people with existential crisis, um, you have literally zero, well, little or zero hope. So, kind of drives you quite close to the point of suicide. And um, well, to be honest with you, it's not something that I haven't thought about, but well, to so I don't give you guys a scare. I'm not thinking about it right now or anytime in the future. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'll still be
I
here.
understand what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, people with existential crisis think a lot about. Well, they don't think about living that much because the best, the whole basis of existential crisis is you don't know why you're alive and you don't know the reason you need to be alive or why you're alive. So most of the times you'll probably end up thinking about why should I be alive then? So you'll end up thinking of suicide or the likes.
Well,
Um, one advice I would give you is don't try anything that will lead you to have a quote in quote bad life because I don't know, some people might find it amusing, but I think in its objective form, like living a, um, a bitter life, like you're always like bad to people or constantly taking drugs. Well, I'm not saying drugs are bad, but I'm saying um like abusing drugs is bad. So like if your existentialness leads you to a kind of lifestyle where you're always emitting negative energy, I don't think that would be nice. So you should probably try and stay away from doing negative habitual things or stuff that will mess up your mind. But in the end, it's your life, it's your choice. But from from a messed up human being to another messed up human being, please don't.
okay.
But but how to deal with existential crisis? Personally, I can't say I've found a way of dealing with it. But one thing I am slowly realizing is that talking about it makes it less makes you feel less existential because like 7 out of 10 times that you'll talk about it, you'll find someone else who shares the same mentality as you, even though not fully 100% like the same existential crisis reasons you have will be the same ones that a person has. But there's this human thing about finding what's the word? Like humans don't like being alone in literally anything.
Yeah.
So if you and one of the major things that confront people with existential crisis is like being alone. Because personally, there's this issue I have with dying. Like I
I,
I don't
I
know. I'm
like
still afraid of death
I
till
like
this day because
I
when
like
you
how
when you
you
die,
put
you're
it.
not sure where you're going to go, and you're not sure if there'll be other people there, and if you still have your consciousness, it will suck because you'll be alone wherever you are, and who wants to be alone for all eternity? So I don't know if you get that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
understand what you mean. Also,
and
I like how you said I have this thing with death. Like, it's the most cliche, most what's called nonchalant way of speaking about death. But okay, I get what you mean. I get what you're coming from. Um,
uh,
from like I guess if you heard the last podcast, then you kind of know my own views, my own worldviews on this kinds on this kind of things. But we're pretty much near polar opposites when it comes to this. And I had a similar conversation with my sister just yesterday actually, and although it wasn't necessarily about existential crisis, although the topic did kind of come up. She made a point that I think actually a lot of people um, end up that's I think should be addressed. So, for instance, she said that as human beings, we require structure, and we require structure in the form of like we require that bit of hope, to function as a human being. You can't survive without hope. You can't survive without structure, as she put it. So, the discussion was about religion. But I'm not going to get into that. But I'll touch about it because the way you see it, for instance, there's that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of alone, that feeling of uncertainty. Um, would it be different? Or do you think it would be different if you weren't uh, like atheist? If you had a belief in a God, if you had that sort of mindset.
yeah, to be honest, it's going to sound weird, but I kind of wish that I could erase like part of my knowledge so that I can become Christian again, because at least it will give me a hope of something. Because right now I have fucking zero hope. Ah man, I don't know. Because when you're Christian, you believe that when you die, you'll like go to this wonderful place
Yeah, there's a surety,
to be
there's
equal
this life.
and stuff like that. You'll be happy and shit. Well, it sucks. It sucks for you if you will end up in hell, but at least you'll have people burning with you. Better than being in a void alone.
Uh,
But
maybe you get to play cards with Hitler. Who knows?
yeah, we'll probably teach you how to play cards. Um, so
So
yeah,
okay,
I think having a religion, or rather having a belief, would be better than being atheist. But as in, it's like I'm finding the balance between knowledge and belief. And to be honest, I don't think there is a balance. It's either you believe in something and forsake knowledge, or gain knowledge and forsake belief.
Well, that kind of draws. It's a very it's a way of drawing the line in the sand. Like you say the one thing or the other. You can't really have both.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Um, is very interesting. Points. Like point of view. Very interesting perspective. Uh, on I guess how you see things. So if, as you said, like if you could turn back, if you could like turn back the clock and erase certain parts, like we just had a time machine that could just somehow erase certain parts of history, you go and unknow some things so that you be able to um, live that blissful life. The whole ignorance is bliss thing from the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm kind of torn between being ignorant and staying the way I am right now, because it's
There's a bit of you that
like,
wants to stay as you are
yeah,
now.
like, no, I don't even want to say a bit. Like, a whole lot of me wants to stay the way I am right now, because
Okay.
I kind of feel um how do I put it? I kind of feel more enlightened. I don't want to sound like some
Spiritual.
atheist
Yeah, I get
or
what you
atheist
mean.
or something. Yeah,
We're not opening
with like
chakras or anything.
that
Oh, yeah. Um.
Bit too late for that.
Okay, so that bit of you that wants to stay like this because you feel sort of enlightened. Okay, so now, uh, if you had to like give it a leeway, like there's a bit of you that wants to stay this way, and there's a bit of you that wants to go back. If you had a choice, or would you pick? Would you if you had the opportunity to choose, would you stay like this and keep all your knowledge and stuff on certain things, or for, as you said, forsake certain bits of knowledge and gain belief and
mm,
structure?
um right now I think I'd stay the way I am and keep all the
So,
knowledge I have of everything
so as
rather than
as
keep back.
as bad as things are right now, you would, or how existential things are right now, you'd still stay how you are.
Well, let me give you my reasons.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
So even if things seem quote unquote bad, because I don't know, I don't like
Okay,
saying that things are bad or
it's
things are
all it's
good,
all
because
subjective, but
yeah, it's
yes.
all subjective. So I might think it's bad, but eventually I'll end up thinking something different later in the future. So the subjectiveness doesn't really matter. So the thing is, I would stay the way I am right now, because I find I find it thrilling to like keep going further into existential crisis. I know I sound mad right now, but
Oh no,
uh,
it's fine.
I'd
Can
rather
I be the normal person and say yes? No?
so I'd rather stay existential and keep going into it, um, rather than like pick something to believe in and for the rest of my life keep knowing that I'm going to. Oh wait, we say you're going to the past, so I won't know. Um, I don't know. I think it's a personality thing. Then I would inherently know that I'm not living.
So you feel like even if like you wiped your memory and steered
Yeah,
yourself down a different path, you'd somehow still end up where you are right now. But your
Two of them because
personality wouldn't just allow you to inherently be.
yeah,
Okay.
like I can't believe in something without asking questions. So I'll probably end up the same place again. So we might as well take that time machine and do something else with it.
Like go to Stephen Hawking's party.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you're probably going to Stephen Hawking's party.
And bring him cake from 2020 and probably coronavirus, looking at the way things are going. But okay, so okay, I get what you mean. It's like okay. Well, forgive me for saying for if this is a bad analogy, but it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome in a way.
Wow. Okay. We're just gonna toss it every card, dude. Okay.
Well,
It's like what? I didn't quite get it.
Stockholm syndrome. Okay, for context, Stockholm syndrome is like when you get kidnapped, but then you end up um, what's it called? Uh, Empathizing with the kidnapper. You end up uh, like longing for the company to the point where like when you get released, you still kind of want to go back. You get what I mean? You're still empathetic towards the kidnapper. That's Stockholm syndrome. So it's so maybe I'm looking at this from a very but it's the first thing that popped into my head when after you finished explaining your whole your whole relationship with existential crisis. It's kind of like Stockholm syndrome where existential crisis is the kidnapper and you're the victim in the case and you've grown so accustomed to being kidnapped that like it's like yeah, you just live here now. Was that a good analogy, or did I just completely misinterpret what you meant? Oh, wait, my internet's dying. Um, 1 second. I apologize for all the notification sounds. 1 minute.
Dark person. I'm
Okay.
not really that dark. It's just when I start talking, it gets dark.
No, it's fine, man.
Talking about existential crisis is when it gets dark. But if you start talking about memes, I'll probably be like one of the funniest people you'll meet. Not to brag.
Well, they say the saddest people are the funniest.
But yes,
Oh, wait. Who says that? Wait. What?
Isn't it like a common thing? Where, like, there's always that meme. Oh well, of course, it's a meme that says this. There's always a meme of like the funny guy in school when he gets home he's usually really sad, and the sad guy at school when he gets home he's really funny.
it's one of those what 14-year-old teenager memes.
It's r slash I'm 14 and this is deep.
I'm 14 and this is deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say something. 14-year-olds.
Well,
I'm 14. This is deep.
this episode has already been really wild. We started off so random, then we got so deep, and now we're taking a different, much lighter turn.
Oh, yeah, it's the commercial break before we go back into that pit hole of darkness. By the way, at the rate we're going, we should be called the emo podcast at the end of the day.
Breaks is good. Breaks is good. Breaks breaks help you internalize what happened or what has been said.
Yeah, especially you and your Stockholm syndrome. I still don't get that analogy.
Well, maybe they just looked at it in a weird way. That could just be it. Maybe I'm just a weird guy who looks at things very weirdly.
And explain to your viewers who are also practicing, I assume, want to know how this weirdness came from.
Well, how do you explain weirdness?
Lack of social interactions.
Like, well, this is a social interaction, goddammit.
This is not an excuse for social interaction.
It's still a social interaction. Plus, I can't interact socially. It's COVID. I'm supposed to not be socially interacting with people for the sake of my own
But
safety.
right now, we're talking about the past.
Well, there was something else. I had a
we both
cold.
had social anxiety.
I had a cold. I had a cold.
Okay, cool. He had a cold and I had social anxiety.
Well, fine. Okay. So, how do I say this? Okay. Okay. On the topic of existential crisis, I understand a lot actually about where you're coming from. Because I was kind of there for part of my life, and
Wait, you
yeah.
actually left existential crisis. How did you do that?
Well, I joined nihilism. um,
Uh,
so
okay.
existential crisis is it's basically like nothing matters, but nihilism is like nothing matters. So it's basically saying the same thing, but the how you look at it is different. Nothing matters could be a call to dread, a call to nothing you do about, as I said, like I'm kind of repeating myself a bit, but in case you didn't watch it, in case you didn't listen to the last episode, I kind of touched on it a bit. So it's like, yeah, you can go kind of down that route of yes, the world is so broken and there's so much shit that does not make sense, and reality is more often than not very fucked up and very wrong in a lot of cases, I guess. And most of the time, there's a lot of people actually, okay, maybe not a lot of people, but some people don't notice it. And once you start noticing it, like you said, once you start to see something, it's very hard to go back. But then sometimes you don't have to go back. You can kind of it becomes like a sort of freeing opportunity. I kind of said it's like the Matrix. Like once you figure out that it's all a simulation, and yeah, the world outside is kind of shit, but then you could take it the other route and be like, it's a simulation, so I can pretty much kind of do whatever I want inside. Now, I'm not saying that because nothing matters, you should go out and like start shooting people in the streets or looting or any of these things, because cause and effect, there's still consequences. Like there might not be an ethereal, sort of universal consequence to what you're doing. The universe might not care whether you gun down 30 people, but like the courts would be like, bruh, you're going to jail for the rest of your life. So, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But
You get arrested, a cop, and you pull out your existential crisis card.
yeah. The judge is about to like drop the hammer,
Yeah,
and like you pull out, you're like, nah, I'm certified. Existential crisis.
certified. Was
Certified.
certified existential crisis.
And they're like, I'm sorry, you can leave, have a nice day, pick up some air, clean
Understood.
ammo on the way out. Yeah, don't do that. And if you do that, don't say I told you to do that. I did not. I am not to blame for your madness. Okay, but anyways, it's sort of the thing where like the whole concept. Yeah, things are kind of fucked up, but that kind of gives you the opportunity to introduce your own twist to the madness. And also, now my kind of whole point is, yeah, a lot of things might not matter, but because they objectively don't matter, then that doesn't mean that they subjectively don't have to matter to you. So, for example, uh, like what would we say? Like like the concept of afterlife or anything like that. Yeah, you might okay, maybe that's not a good analogy. Let's just talk in general because my analogies tend to be weird, as previously pointed out. Um, so like in general speaking, like these things might not necessarily. I lost my train of thought for a sec. Uh, if you're listening to this, you can take a shot every time I say you probably be hammered at the end of this. But anyway, there you go again. I was man. Okay. Yes, objectively. You could take the route again of nothing matters, but then use it as a sort of eye-opening, as a sort of declaration of free will in a way. Sort of yes, nothing matters, but that means it's also open season in terms of philosophy, in terms of worldviews, in terms of everything. And as I keep like I've had this conversation with a bunch of people, but you are the only person who can verify your own existence. So, for instance, you're the only person who you know for 100% like a surety that you exist. You can't be sure of anyone else's existence, even if you can see them, even if you can touch them, even if you can smell them or whatever. The what was that famous quote? I think, therefore I am. But you can't necessarily see anyone else's thoughts. You can't objectively just look into someone's mind and just check if they're thinking to see if they are. So it's I think, therefore I am, not they think, therefore they are. So you can't really check. So for all you know, it might all be some random simulation or something like that. Like it might be weird. Your life might be a DMT sort of trip that you've taken or something. Uh, so you're the only person who can certify your own existence. And in doing so, your version of events or your reality is the objective reality. Because otherwise, what are you? These not a logical, not a logical objective reality other than your own. If you can only validate your own existence. So in doing so, since your reality is your objective reality, and the fact that from your objective reality nothing has rhyme or reason, reality doesn't make sense, then it's up to you. You kind of have the mandate to yourself to form the reality that you want to be your own objective reality. So it's basically saying you were always right because you were you, in very many words. But it's deeper than that. So as I said, it's not doesn't mean go shoot people in the streets because you think that you're not gonna you're an almighty or powerful dude or whatever, gonna get caught. Actions still have consequences. Cause and effect is it's still there. Cause and effect is objective. But in terms of other things, it's pretty much open season. And you are the only person who you should be listening to because, quite frankly, you're the only person who has your own interests at heart. Did I sum that up pretty well?
Yeah, that's pretty summed up. Okay. I think one of the stages before getting to a level higher than existential crisis, like once you finally accept like a certain set of rules you decide to accept for yourself, like the way the nihilism that you've come to accept
Yeah.
that, well, nothing matters, so you can do anything you want. I think a big step comes in when the person experiencing the existential crisis decides to like prove to themselves that they actually exist. Because I assume one of the results of having existential crisis, you end up thinking that you yourself is probably an illusion. So like you don't believe in anyone else existing, you don't believe in yourself existing. So it's kind of like, what am I? Then like once you get to understand yourself or like believe in yourself that you actually exist, and well, obviously you have no way of proving that anyone else exists. So the final stage is accepting yourself as you're the only one who exists. So that's when I think you get to nihilism, and like you have all this sort of like you only care about yourself. Well, not in a rude way, but like in a realistic kind of way. Like you're the only one with your own interest at heart. So you end up you have to end up believing that you exist to be able to care for your own needs. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
get
if
what
I'm
you mean.
just trying
You're
to
basically
explain
you're the main character in your own book that you were
it. Yeah,
writing,
yeah. But like there's a stage before that where um
where you
you're
have
like
to prove your existence to yourself before you can move forward with this.
yeah, like you have to prove to yourself that the book you're in is real, or rather the character in your book is real.
So okay,
Mm.
so proving your own existence to yourself.
Yeah,
Well, that's a very what's it called? It's an actually very complex statement because okay, like I did it, but I did it in my own way, and I'm assuming because all of this is subjective, everyone kind of goes about doing it, or everyone who has thought about doing it has thought about doing it in a very different way, like um because again it's all pretty subjective, and how you go about doing this is also really I guess there's a lot of questions you get. It's also another kind of rabbit hole that you can easily go down because you're gonna be like, okay, so what should I do to prove my own existence to myself before I can move forward like this? Like, who's to say that I have the objective reality if I don't even know that I exist for sure? So how would you go? Like, so you ask yourself, like, how would you go about proving your own existence? And then you're like, there might not be necessarily one or two. There might be a bunch of ways open to you, but then you'd be like, okay, so majority of the time, because when stuff like this comes up, what a lot of people do, or what I'm assuming a lot of people would do, would be to like look stuff up, would be to what's it called, to like dig deeper into like these
philosophy.
yeah, philosophy, and then because there's so many different types,
Yeah, you say?
there's so many different types of philosophy, and then choosing one uh choosing one would also now you'd also kind of end up with the same question of like, okay, so if I choose this one, who's to say that this is the measure from which I could be basing my objectives on whatever, you get what I mean. But anyway, aside from that, like your own personal philosophy will end up playing a major role in you proving your own existence to yourself, and how or rather your type of existential crisis, because I think existential crisis is different for everyone. How you deal with existential crisis will also determine how you need to be able to begin to prove your own existence to yourself. So, for instance, if you're someone who appeals to logic, yeah, you need to logically prove your own existence in a sort of okay, I don't know how to explain logic, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you get what I mean. Yeah. So if you're the kind of person, if you're the kind of person who handles things empathetically, then you need to use that to kind of prove
yeah,
your own existence that way. So I guess it's a custom issue that everyone kind of has to solve on their own. If you get what I mean.
yeah. Because what you said about the subjective way of trying to figure yourself out, or the subjective way of figuring out your objectivity. I think one of the reasons that I'm still having, like, I haven't reached the point of accepting a certain philosophy, let's say nihilism, or like what other philosophies there in this meaning. I don't know any other one. Um,
Uh, but
like one of
all
the
the other
reasons
ones.
yeah. So one of the reasons I haven't gotten to my philosophy yet is because I think my existential crisis is one of the hardest, but rather my objectivity is one of the hardest to prove to myself. Because um, the thing is, I I'm a person who likes proving things to myself using, like, how do I put it? I don't believe in stuff that's not physically proven. So, like, I need material proof that,
Yeah.
Oh, so you're the dude who's seeing is believing.
yeah, basically. So it's hard to believe in me. Yeah, well, I can see my body, yes, but
Yeah,
I really got,
you can't see you can see you can see your body, but you can't see you.
yeah,
You can't observe your own consciousness.
yeah, because, well, my body might as well be simulated, so I really don't know.
So now for you, I think that you'd have a very interesting what's it called challenge,
Kind
I guess, ahead of you on how to prove your own existence through observation.
exactly.
uh, I think I think this is one of the rare cases where it might be easier to prove someone else's existence, uh, and then have them
Mm.
prove your existence.
I'm locked in DNA, in between a rock and a hard place, because I have social anxiety, so I probably won't find that person in time.
It would be a very weird conversation. Be like, "Hello, yeah, I want to interview you. I want to prove your existence so that you can prove mine."
Just a random person in the street. Hey, you! I
Hey,
want to prove like this. Please prove mine.
hey, yeah. Yeah. Well, man, at least this isn't like the 1980s, because then you'd be out there with like a hammer and chisel, be like, "Yo, can I pop open your brain for a second? I just need to check something." I'll sew it back up, I promise. Um, well, now it's a very complex issue, and it's a very custom issue. So I'm looking forward, looking forward to how you're gonna deal with that. Um,
I'm looking forward to it myself as well.
maybe you can write a book on it afterwards.
Just write a book,
Yeah,
make a movie.
yeah, write a book, make a movie.
This has now become Dr. Phil so fast.
Oh man, we're pretty, we're nowhere near Dr. Phil, man. Dr. Phil is OP. We're pretty
We don't
much,
have any kids to send to the ranch.
yeah. We don't have any kids to send to the ranch. We don't even have a ranch.
We don't even have a ranch.
Oh man, of Fiscus, man, add that to add that to our schedule. Like Monday,
Oh wow.
Monday morning, 10 a.m. Find the ranch. We'll just go out ranch shopping. I'm assuming that's what Dr. Phil did. I'm assuming Dr. Phil just went around looking at ranches, being like, I like this one, I like this one. This has good
That
space.
one, that's a no-no.
Like, this has some good space. It'll fit a whole bunch of kids. You know?
It'll be like, it is the most annoying to this millennials.
Man. Okay, so we can kind of step aside from the whole serious conversation for a bit. It's been a whole hour ish of very serious conversations on existential crisis and stuff. We can just talk about other stuff, other things for now, because we don't want to have the whole dark setting for the whole episode. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. And talk about something else or something more humorous.
Yeah, pretty much. We can become a comedy podcast.
So who goes from dark to comedy? Wait.
Well, we advertise ourselves as being unprofessional and unpredictable. So, you know, I
But
guess.
yeah, so in the like
I guess.
an hour ago, like 5 minutes ago, we were talking about suicide, this Stockholm syndrome, and now we're cracking jokes towards the end. I'm seeing that working.
Well, remember the whole podcast started off with really insensitive jokes. So, and then we got serious from that somehow. So who knows? You could probably pull it off and make it look seamless. Or we might not be pulling anything off. And all our listeners might be hella confused as to what's going on. They're like, oh.
Hey man, there's something called edit. And this edit, we can edit the parts after we listen to it and it sounds bonkers.
Yeah, except I'm probably not gonna edit most of this part. Probably not gonna edit most of this part. It's probably just gonna leave it as it is because it's part of the show's character. You get what I mean? Like we're just a bunch of people who don't know what's going on.
At this point, the way if our podcast keep on going like this, I will just call ourselves the problem children.
No. We need a non-threatening name. Yeah, like we need a name that no one can get mad at. Like no one gets mad at noisy background. Like how do you get mad at noisy background? Like imagine a news outlet, yeah, getting mad at noisy background. Like imagine that title. Yeah. We were thinking ahead when the name was chosen for us.
Would it be like great character development when you guys like start off with like this unruly kind of podcast and then it just keeps getting more refined as time passes?
Well, yeah. I guess could be character developments. Character development, maybe, possibly, depending.
Character development that progresses along a linear increment with the microphone quality.
I like how you started with that one.
It's evolving just backwards. Probably. Well, okay, to be fair, we gotta do this for fun. The whole podcast thing is not what we generally do, but we thought we have pretty interesting conversations that may, may be of interest to someone. Maybe doing something like fill, just as I said, fill that gap in your day when you don't really have anything going on and you just want some background noise or noisy background. Hey, that's the title. The name of the podcast.
Let's not lie. We're just egotistical and we think our conversations have 189 IQ, so we decided to podcast it.
Okay, true. This podcast is just a bunch of egotistical dudes who are like, man, we have such smart conversations. We should start a podcast.
We need to spread our word to the world.
Don't say that, man. You make it seem like we're gonna invade other countries and like force our will on them. Like we're just gonna go to Mexico and be like, hey yo, listen to this.
Time for crusade.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm just playing the role as your head because you're a narcissist. I'm pretty sure this is going through your head whether you say it or not.
Yeah, it's going through my head, but like I don't say this kind of stuff out loud because I'm a narcissist, but I don't want to come across as a dick.
But you've accepted it.
Like you can be but I didn't say it. You see that's the difference. You can't prosecute me for thinking about it.
It's not bad. It's not good either.
Well, who decides bad and good? Like, who is the arbiter of bad and good?
Exactly.
While we're going through this conversation, okay.
This is how fun conversations turn into serious conversations. You see, like Paco.
Going to that.
But yes, anyway, who does decide what's good and what's not? Like, this technically isn't an objective good or evil. Like, there's no, it's just events. It's just called an effect. It's just things that happen. It's not necessarily good or evil. If you're looking at it from like a universal objective standpoint, it's us who introduce also the whole good and evil thing, and like it's not even consistent when we do it because like what's good. Even right now, we don't even have to go really far backwards. Even right now, like around the world, we don't have a clear cut of what's good and what's evil. That's why there are different laws everywhere. That's why you can, that's why US is like, nah, you can drink when you're 21, and other countries are like, nah, 18 is fine. In US, if you drink when 18, that's objectively wrong. That's objectively bad. But in other countries, are like, nah, that's fine. That's right. So, like, even current day, we're still arguing about what's right and wrong, objectively, or subjectively rather. So, I don't think there's any objective good or bad. No one really gets. No one is right on being right and wrong. You get what I mean?
Just a blood line between right and wrong.
Yeah. Lines that keep changing depending on society and just how things are going.
I would argue if I didn't believe in myself.
What statement is I would argue if I didn't believe in myself? Like
No, because it's like if
I
think of
would
it this way,
it's like
think about it.
I would drown if I couldn't swim.
Just I'm saying think of it this way, right? You are revealing my statement, right? But you value statements. My statement is something I technically believe myself. So it's like
You just kind of backed yourself into that comment.
yeah.
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Stroke your ego.
At every chance, at every chance. So it's one of the benefits of being egotistic.
I have a non-related question to this topic.
Yeah, ask away.
Yeah, you see the way, like I don't want to infringe into anyone's boundaries, but personally, I believe the two genders, like male and female. I don't know about the rest. You can believe what you want, and I'm not pushing my ideology onto you. But personally, I know that the only two genders, male and female, naturally. So,
Man, talk about controversial topics.
no, I'm not trying to start fight.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, you know how people are gonna interpret this, man.
no, cool. I won't explain. I won't explain anymore. Just know that was that's my part. What I perceive gender is like the physical state of either being male or female. So that was not the point of my question.
Okay.
My
Question
question
was,
how would it work if there was more than two genders, like male, female, and something else? Like, let's say it was an alien species race. How would three gender species work?
okay. So first, okay, let me just ask a follow-up question. So, okay, what do you think about transgenders?
Well, you can't be in two gender states at the same time, so you're not quantum, please.
You're not quantum.
You're not quantum.
Yeah, but the people who are born that way.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, you're born either male and turn out female, or you're born female and turn out male. You're not born female and turn out male female or female male.
Well,
No comments from me.
okay. I can't really engage in this conversation.
Or are there people who have like both genitals? I don't know.
Yes, they are.
People who have both genitals.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Like naturally.
Yes, I might be wrong, but yes.
Alright, I'm gonna give you the benefit of doubt because
Okay. I don't. Okay. Let me just say this to clarify in case I'm wrong, because I don't like being wrong. I don't know for a fact because it's not necessarily something that I've looked into a whole lot. But from a couple. Oh wait, we have a doctor, not a doctor, a biology student in chat. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember
wait, who's the biology student?
George. He was here last week.
Oh
yeah, he says they do exist. They're called hermaphrodites.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember when we were learning about genders and the whole X and Y chromosome thing. They
Mhm.
well, there were well, okay, I don't know if maybe my teacher was on drugs or something. Because knowing like that might very well be possible, knowing the Kenyan education system. Um,
Exactly.
but well, I remember very clearly those some instances of some outliers where sometimes you can have both the male and female kind of like genes, chromosomes, whatever they call it. I don't know. I didn't pay. I'm not much. I don't lean down well towards biology, but I remember he mentioned that there were instances where that could happen, and you kind of get transgenders were born that way. So, um,
Hmm.
given that information now, what would you say? What, what would you say?
Okay. Well, if anyone who's going to listen to this is hermaphrodite or is an advocate for such, uh, I apologize for the lack of knowledge, but well, now that I know they exist, I don't know. I don't know what I would say to them or about it. Well, I guess they have an advantage. They manifest both features for both genders at the same time.
I don't know. I really
Well, if they do, it would be cool. But
we're
they
not
don't.
really
Well,
we're not really so too exposed to these kinds of things, especially here in Kenya, because
yeah,
of the whole African setting and how our society and how our government treats these kinds of things. Like it might be really huge in other parts of the world, like Western countries or whatever, and a lot of these things might be public knowledge or at least common knowledge in some areas. Of course, we don't really have a lot of access to these kinds of things. Like, pretty sure we don't even have like if you're not even transgender or hermaphrodite, if you're bisexual, or homosexual, you kind of have to keep it to yourself, basically,
yeah,
in this country. Because, like, there are no institutions where there's nothing for that here. Like, it's not like you can go get married or like, it's very hard, I guess, for those kinds of people. And we don't get a lot of, we don't get a lot of chances to talk about these kinds of issues. So, again, we apologize to any of our listeners who are part of these groups. We just don't know, okay? We, if we have offended you, we are sorry. Okay,
yeah.
that,
To important question.
that out of the way. Aliens, and if they had three genders. Uh, God damn it, man, this podcast. Uh, we keep
Me, I wonder if you have a hit list of how many people you just want to infuriate.
the gymnastic. Well, we pretty much infuriated everyone. Like, the only other thing that we could do to make people more angry is to be like, you know what, Trump shouldn't step. If we start talking about like politics, especially politics that doesn't concern us, because we're Kenyan,
Yeah,
that would definitely piss a whole lot of people off. But we're not gonna do that. Anyway, so if aliens had three genders, how would that look like? Um, would they require all three genders to mate, or could it just be like between any two of those three? And like,
well, they're using the restrictions of like how gender works. So like here on Earth, and I'm saying it like I've been Delta. Well, here we need both genders present.
well,
So
okay,
more all of us have to be present.
so I'm thinking about it in the sort of thing where like, three, like sometimes like between couples they're infertile and they get a surrogate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like that's the sort of relationship, except like it's permanent. Like you need let's say male, female, and um a
Catalyst.
yeah, sure, fine. I guess you call them that. The alien species, anyways, whatever. You can call them anything you want. Aliens, if you're watching, please do not get offended.
Thanks.
We're going off offending everyone today.
We're sending the galaxy now.
Yeah, we'll just get intergalactic mail that we've been cancelled. We've been cancelled on.
The podcast has some unknown hit list that is just going wacky people in anger.
Apparently, everyone's on the edge, being like, "Who are they going after next?" Like, so it would be like two other genders would be required, and then one other gender would kind of be like the surrogate. Like that. Okay, that's how I picture it. More like two like the two other genders couldn't do it by themselves, but like through evolutionary processes, that species evolved like a third gender that could be able to kind of become like a surrogate to these two, and then that's kind of how I imagine like three trigender alien species would be like.
Okay.
I don't know if it makes a whole bunch of sense.
Kind of does. It's like the three body problem with astrophysics and stuff. But we won't get into that because not everyone is into that field. I don't know if you've heard of the three body problem. Have you heard of it?
No, please educate us.
You don't know, I'm expecting you know, like all knowing one.
Oh, thank you. That does help stroke my ego.
I like the tone. I like the tone where it's like, he had that sentiment of you idiot.
But
So,
you, yeah, go
the
on, educate
three-body
us on
problem
the three-body problem.
is you basically have like the normal kind of orbiting that we have with two bodies is like the sun and the earth, or the earth and the moon. Like it's quite
Yeah.
defined. One body is like apparently like stationary, and the other one is revolving around the bigger mass
Yeah.
or heavier one. But in a three-body problem, it's quite difficult to understand where the center of rotation will be when you have like three different bodies. Like
Oh,
let's say
okay.
three
I
stars
understand.
of the same mass.
I understand
Something
what
like
you mean. So,
Yeah.
like in Newtonian gravitational laws, like how it only works between two bodies. We do Newtonian calculations for like gravity and stuff
Yeah.
with two bodies, and then if you're adding a third one, it still has to be in pairs. So if it's the sun, the other the moon, then we'll do the moon and the earth, then we'll do the earth and the sun.
Yeah.
So like how would the three
Like
body
if
problem
we
is
had
basically how would an equation for three bodies look like? Because we already have the one for two.
yeah. It's the same thing with like the gender. You really don't know where the intersection will lie, because you need all three of them to be present.
Yeah.
But then
Well,
it's kind of hard to understand which one will be like how
yeah, I get it. It's hard to picture because we haven't gotten exposed to this. We can't really picture how it works because we're used to like how things work here.
Yep.
So yeah.
But I I guess one way to like put your head around it is that like, the DNA might be evolved to like instead of requiring what like they probably have a three-strand DNA rather than a two-strand like ours. One that have a
Three.
double helix.
How does trees do? Okay, maybe I don't know. I don't even know how it work. I I was my knowledge in the field of genetics is very very limited. So
Exactly.
yeah,
No one knows how it is.
I'm a physicist before anything else. So yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, and then like a bunch of people are just gonna it's gonna be like, and after they finished offending of transgender people and religious people, they went on and made scientific collapse. Yeah. And okay. Well, shout out to those two guys, the one guy in India and USA, if you're still listening to this. This far deep. This far. uh, man.
Promise it's going to get better.
Yeah, or worse, we don't know.
Definitely was.
Well,
Who's your optimist?
compared to the first one, I'm pretty sure this is. Well, not worse in terms of,
Debatable.
not worse in terms of podcast quality. Just in terms of burning bridges. I think we call it.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it under debatable.
Sure. But well, okay. I don't like I don't even know how to summarize this episode. This episode's been wild. Like we just jumped from topic to topic to topic, from serious topic to light-hearted topics back to serious topics, from existential crisis to memes to uh like feelings of depression stuff, to genders to aliens. Like it's been a really wild podcast. Uh, yeah, like if you're listening to like if you start off the podcast and then just jump ahead, you will get so confused as to what the hell is going on.
Probably wouldn't even know where to jump to.
Yeah. You'll be like, wait, what? When did they start talking about aliens and genders? You'll be like,
If you
yeah.
if you had put timestamps on the description of the podcast, it'll probably look weird to someone like
Oh
first couple of minutes.
yeah, I think I'll probably just leave it. I'll let them figure it out. I'll let the viewers. Why do I keep saying viewers? I'll let the listeners figure it out for themselves.
It's like someone wants to become a YouTuber.
It's manifesting clearly.
It's manifesting.
Yeah.
I really want a camera in front of my face, huh?
Yep.
Maybe. Who knows? I might just start a channel where I burn even
Potential
more
YouTuber in the
bridges.
making.
I've always wondered what I'd do if I started a channel. I'd probably do something or try to do something really chill, like completely, like play Minecraft or something.
After burning all these bridges, you start becoming a chill YouTuber.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Irony.
The irony. You know, burning all these bridges takes a lot of energy. You know? Takes a lot of time. Sometimes you need some nice chill. Minecraft music. Yeah. Mojang, if you're listening, you can sponsor our podcast. Yeah, come on. I know you wanna. I know you wanna.
Okay.
Hey, you can scoff at me now, yeah. But when we get that sponsorship, yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, yo, Jacoby, we're co-hosts and we gotta share.
Wow. As you said, this is so fun. When it becomes serious, we have the serious talk then. If it becomes serious.
Well, yeah, okay, right now we're just a bunch of guys having fun, talking about random topics that we just feel like talking about for no other reason other than we feel like talking about them. And sometimes you're offensive, and sometimes you just say random shit. That's pretty much.
And most of the time, we're grossly underqualified to say what we say.
Yeah, pretty much. We're really underqualified still. But given the nature of society, I don't think that matters all too much. Like given the examples the society set for us, most of the time, people who end up having the say on a lot of these issues aren't people who are very well versed in these issues. The people who make these sort of the people who have these conversations, the people who make like policies and stuff. Most of the time, they're not the ones who actually know what's going on. So who's to say we can't talk about shit we don't know? And maybe along the way we learn something new, you know? Like we get educated along the way, maybe through hate comments, maybe maybe through nice comments, who knows?
Eh,
uh, but anyway, we are nearing our 2 hour mark, which um means well, I the only reason I actually made it 2 hours is because I'm lazy as fuck. And I do want to edit all of that. Because it takes a while before the production of the podcast, before it releases and stuff like that. Anyway, I think we should be wrapping this up now and kind of tie everything together. I have no idea how we're gonna summarize what we said. We said so much. We said so much stuff. I have no idea how to summarize it properly.
we just say this. Let's say this. If you listen to the whole podcast, you know what we talked about.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess, and if you skipped to the end because it was getting weird and you just wanted to see how it ends, well then, shame on you. Go back and listen to it all. Um, yeah,
How
um,
dare you
how dare you?
listen to us?
How dare you? You know we're black. That's racist. You should.
That's right.
Wow.
God,
Alright, well, we might as well burn all the.
Okay, warning for future podcasts. If you haven't spilled hate on you, we're coming.
Yeah, we should have started off this podcast by giving off like that little offensive warning. Be like not how do they put it like at the beginning of WWE the way they put that like little disclaimer.
rated PS. Pretty stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Man, we're not experts at anything we're talking about. Well, unless we're talking about ourselves, in which case we are the best expert on ourselves. But other than that, yeah, we pretty much know nothing. We just
And as the podcast is called, we are just noisy background. Yeah, you don't have to take it seriously.
yeah. You don't necessarily have to take what we say seriously. You don't have to like listen to it and be like, oh man, these guys said this, this guy said this. We're just rambling on, trying to find topics and just distractions to fill the space. So yeah, don't take, as I said at the beginning, we are not responsible for anything we say. Um, don't take this too seriously. Yeah, yeah. Any final remarks from our guest, Mr. Monty?
Well, um, to be honest with you guys, this podcast is actually really fun, and I actually like listening to them. I've never listened to a podcast before. Well, I've listened to one, but it was because of other circumstances that I had to listen to. But this one is like the first one that I've listened to. Like, well, the previous podcast was the first one I've listened to with an actual intent of listening. So, like, I tell you guys to keep keep, keep doing the podcast. Like them pretty much, and it's been a pleasure being a guest here. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Now on to the most important part of the podcast, the awkward outro. We would not be a noisy background podcast if we did not have an awkward outro.
You have something exciting to tell us.
We always have. So um um I don't have.
Oh,
It's just dump a whole bunch of information on. We don't have. I don't know. Okay, let's just do some housekeeping before we close. So, in case it wasn't clear from the previous podcast, we don't really have like a really set schedule for these things. We just kind of do them um, whenever we have time, whenever we're available, whenever the guest is available. We choose our guests pretty much like a couple hours before. um, we're doing this is like for fun, so we're not necessarily overly serious about it, and it's not necessarily an excuse to have to have weird quality. But anyways, it's just we don't put so much effort, so much time rather into this. It's sort of the thing we do as a hobby, I guess, as a pastime. And yeah. As I said before, don't take anything we say seriously. We're not responsible for what we say. And yeah, I think we'll catch you on the next one. Anything to add, Joel? This is
Apart from the fact of like, you still don't know what to call me on the podcast? Nah.
what did you say? I couldn't hear you. Oh, you was weird.
I
Hello.
was just saying, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I was just saying, apart from you having no idea what to call me on the podcast, nah.
But none of us speaks. It's fine. I'm pretty sure. Like as confused as you are, like a viewer. Oh my god, not a viewer. I keep making the same mistake as a listener. As confused as you are, we're equally as confused. We're very, if not more. Yes, this has been the awkward outro section of the podcast, and now I'm going to talk slow into the mic, and I will see you guys in the next podcast. Um, stay safe, wear a mask, and do not jerk off to my voice.